So today I think it's a good idea to speak about time again, but not about time management,
Yes.
but mostly about how time flies so quickly. It's pretty much unbelievable how the time flies so fast, so quick. To me, I cannot even believe it. Like, how can we live in a world where even one day, sometimes when we have a good time, it sounds like a day is around 3 or 4 hours. Even like today, me and my host actually, we have a good experience because we wanted to do a lot of things in the morning, and we woke up not that late, around 8, and now it's almost 12, and we haven't done much.
Yes.
We cooked breakfast, we ate, we took our time, we spoke, we had discussion, and pretty much that's it.
Half a day is lost. I mean,
Not lost,
not
because
lost.
we had a good time.
Yes.
But what we planned to do in the morning as well, we just realized, oh well, it's already over.
Yeah.
Like, we planned to go to a cafe or coffee shop. We were thinking even to go to the library in the morning.
At 12, actually.
As well, or even,
Like now.
And even to be on our laptop, trying to be productive from like 10 to 12.
Yes.
We initially, actually, we were thinking about waking up at 6, or 6, 7.
Yeah.
7 was the initial plan.
6 actually,
It
because
was 6, and then we said 6:30 it was, and then we said 7. Then we woke up at 8 because sometimes we are a bit tired, and then it went so quickly.
It went so quickly.
We did 20% of what we were planning to do.
Yeah.
30. So how do you explain that?
I have no idea. What is this? Is this I don't know, is this like some sick joke when you're having fun and when you're feeling good? It's like, okay, it's over. But when you're experiencing something bad, it would feel long.
Oh, yes. It's like, now, if I want to hurt you, if I want to hurt your finger,
yes.
If you're on the lift, and you're on the lift, you go to the first floor. Here we are on the 7th floor, for the example.
Yeah.
And the lift breaks suddenly, and it stopped working, and you're inside of the lift, and if you have to wait for even 20 minutes or 15 minutes, it will sound so long because you panic. You don't know what you will do. You are alone in a lift. Imagine even like in those kind of movies where the light also turns off of the lift, and you feel like in the lift, inside, alone. You can shout, cry. You can shout and try to alert someone, and no one hears you. I think nowadays the lifts are, if you shout, people will directly hear you. But probably in the past, and especially in movies, when you see the person shouting in the lift and the lift is blocked, no one hears the person. And even if it's 15 minutes, it sounds like you have been in the lift for 10
years. Oh, not 10 years.
And you say,
help me.
I'm dying. And if you have that feeling also, I don't know, you are panicking, you are in the jungle and you don't find your path and you feel lost.
Yes.
You don't know how to go back home. I mean, jungle, more like forest. And you will panic, and the time won't be pleasant. So actually, the time is not the amount of hours. The time is the perception of you. But at the same time, if we say to ourselves, I want to do this in the morning, like in our case, we wanted to go to a cafe, we wanted to go on our laptop in the morning, and we can't it's not only the perception, but it's only the reality that maybe we spend too much time doing something else, maybe we ate too slowly, but no, we love to eat slowly because why, if we like the food, if we like the moment, why trying to speed up the moment if we enjoy the moment? What's the point, you know?
Yeah.
We want, if we enjoy the moment we have, why would we end up the moment
Yeah.
we enjoy?
Try to make it faster so that it will end quickly. That doesn't make any sense if
No.
you like the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
It's quick.
if you want to feel like, if you have a lot, if you're a busy person and you want to do a lot of things, and everything has to fit in
A schedule.
frame, a schedule, a time frame, I mean, in a day, for instance, or in a week, and you love, if you spend twice the time of what you're supposed to on things you love doing, you won't be able to do everything. So what should we do then?
I don't know. It's like you need to find a perfect
But
balance.
we also like, especially if we also like to do the other things, but we don't enjoy as much as the other things. Because obviously if we really don't want to do something, we can always try to outsource it. But still, just by looking for someone to outsource it, like in my case, I want to clean my windows, I will try to find someone to clean my windows. Well, I have to call someone, I have to look on the internet, I have to email some companies. I don't like to do that either, and maybe I will easily spend 30, even an hour, maybe looking for the best cleaner, you know, the best Windows cleaner, and I will check the reviews, then I will have to call them, then I will have to set an appointment. It's painful as well. So sometimes we think just doing by myself, it's even easier, but it's something I don't like to do. And I prefer to spend more time on things I really enjoy. That is really pleasant. So, do you have any advice?
Me, I don't know if I'm the perfect person to ask for advice because you know me with my time management and all of those things, but I need.
But try to think.
Yeah.
You are in this kind of situation. What
Yeah.
would you do?
I think it's good to find
What kind of advice would you like to give to me?
find a perfect balance, and you know, when you really want to do the other thing, I mean, be firm on yourself and maybe
Be firm.
Yeah, and sometimes if it requires sacrifices, then do it. You know, because otherwise, if you spend too much
It
time,
will
with
never be done otherwise,
Yes.
and then it will be in your head, so it will take some headspace.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do the other thing, well, of course you have to sacrifice the other one, because otherwise you won't win. You know, you only get one. But if you want to get two, then sacrifice a bit of time from the other, so that you could give time for the other thing you want to do.
I see.
I know it's easy to say, why don't you just stop? You know.
It's definitely easy to say. It's harder to
But-
do in the reality.
Yes.
Especially when we are in the action. It's like when we watch a movie and someone, you know, you see, you know, in those kind of scenes where for you it's obvious that the person should escape the house because there is a bad guy in the house and he will get hurt or something like that. You say, oh, leave, do that. But actually the situation of the person, you know, it's always easier when you see the situation when you zoom out.
As a third party.
As a third party. But when you are doing things, and obviously for someone else who see yourself like as a third party, she will tell you, oh, well, it's easy. You just have to do this. You need to have a calendar. You have to allocate your time, like 30 minutes breakfast, 10 minutes talking, an hour and a half doing that, and then take some breaks. And during the breaks, you can still, if you love talking to someone, you can still talk to that person whatsoever. And then you can go back to work or go back to what you want to do. And then if you want to run every morning, just set, force yourself to every morning have like 20 minutes free in your schedule to run, and that's it. He will tell you it's easy. But when you are in that day, in your body,
In that moment,
trying to do that, actually it's not easy.
it's difficult, especially when you're enjoying the moment.
Yes.
It's very difficult.
And usually it's the hardest is to move from one action to another. Like for us, we want to make at least one podcast a week.
Yes.
And the hardest is just to say, now let's make a podcast, let's do it. Once we talk, it's easy, it's really easy, and then we can go, but as I said, we can continue and spending more time doing it. Now again, we are speaking about how to limit your time, and if you want to do everything you said to yourself that you will do in the day, you should spend the right amount of time for every task. Even for the podcast, if you really like to do it, if on your diary you allocated 30 minutes for doing it, you shouldn't do it for more than 30 minutes, because then you will be late for the next task, the next time frame you planned in your diary. And it's the same for everything. Maybe a good example would be a doctor who has to see 20 patients a day, and he has to, or she has actually, the doctor has to manage well the time, because like maybe one patient is 20 minutes, let's say 15-20 minutes, it depends on the country as well where it is. And so you really have to not to spend too much time with one patient, because then the other one, he has an appointment as well, and he will have to wait you because you didn't manage your time well. And so it sounds like you don't respect the other patients. And the problem is also for yourself during your day. If you don't manage well everything you imposed, you promise yourself to do, if you don't manage well your time for each task or each thing you want to do, it's like you don't respect yourself either. What's your thought about it?
My thought is I think having a really specific schedule without a wiggle room, it's a bit military and sometimes a bit impossible to follow through, because sometimes in a day other things can happen. You can't predict how the day will go. You will have a framework, but you can't predict outside forces that would probably ruin the schedule. Let's say you want to say, okay, I will arrive at my office at 9. I will drive from my house from 8:30, then arrive at my office at 8:55. But then there's a car crash that happened on the road. So it's just like, so maybe, yeah, I think it's a good idea to be firm on the time frame that you have, but be firm, but have a wiggle room, per se, like a wiggle room on things that might happen, that you didn't take into account in your framework.
So to you, that's always like you shouldn't be too harsh on yourself and to think, oh, in one day I will be able to do 20 things I really want to do, because if it's not reasonable, you know that you won't do it. So you just need to promise yourself to do just a few things.
Yeah.
And if you can do more, it's better, but just a few things that you really have to do.
Yes.
And after all, with free time, the spare time you will have, you can do more.
Yeah.
But if you impose yourself, on your calendar, if you have like 20 different tasks you really have to do, it's harder.
It's harder for sure. And sometimes you think that, oh, this is easy, the task, but then once you go to the task, it's difficult. You see, it's just three questions, but apparently they want you to explain the, I don't know, the Declaration of Independence. Yeah. So
Oh.
yeah, like I'm just this is just an example. It's like, explain your understanding on the Declaration of Independence and how it has affected our current situation in society, let's say. So it has to be like a long essay. You think it was just three questions, and you think, oh, that's easy. That will take me 30 minutes.
Underestimate.
Pardon?
I mean, you didn't. Your estimation of the task
Yes.
wasn't right.
Was not
So
right.
I believe, usually we tend to not estimate well a given task, and we always think we will be able to do much more than we are actually able to do in a
Capable
day
of
or in a
doing.
month or in a quarter that we
Yeah.
are capable to. I think it's because it motivates us better if we think, oh, in a quarter I will do this, and this, and this, and this projects. And the same for the new resolutions on the new year. Maybe it's it's the same. We say to maybe everybody, like, oh, my new resolution is to lose 10 kilos. I mean, to lose weight, but maybe 20 kilos. Maybe it's not really reasonable. And then because your target is too big, it's too difficult to reach, you will even not reach 1 kilo. You won't even be able to lose one kilo weight.
Yeah. So this is why we have SMART goals. And the R stands for reasonable.
So can you speak to me about the SMART goals?
SMART goals. Okay. I haven't
Did
really...
you read about it?
I did, actually,
recently?
because...
I heard about it too, actually.
SMART goals.
It's an abbreviation, actually.
It is an abbreviation.
Yes.
I think I've listened to a Udemy course when it comes to SMART.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah. And it was when it comes to SMART goals, it also talks about Eisenhower quadrant, and then...
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So you thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I was
But
thinking...
did you apply the SMART goals on your life? Because usually, in my case, that happens so often. I read something really interesting about productivity or about another life hack. I think, wow, it's so cool. But at the end of the day, I don't do it. Somehow, you know? I forget about it. And I still continue my old habit I used to do. So, like, how can we prevent this? I believe as soon as we learn something new, we have to apply to our day-to-day life directly. If we don't apply what we read directly, right away, in that moment, we will never do it.
Right, yeah, because you turned it into a habit.
Exactly. Say. Yeah, especially if we do it right away after you read, or you once you read something interesting, or once you did the course, if you do it right away, you won't forget about it. It's not even about the routine, about the habit, but at least you will do it, so you are sure that you won't forget. Because after 1 month, 1 year, the information might still be there in your head, but not as clear as when you just read it.
Yeah. So I look it up because I didn't memorize it, actually.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Don't crucify me. But yeah, SMART goal is an acronym for specific, measurable.
So a goal has to be measurable first.
Yeah.
Right? So
specific too. It's like, I want to...
Specific, it has to be very clear.
Yeah.
You have to be able to visualize your goal.
Yes.
Like, you have to be able to touch it, like it's already done, right?
Yeah.
So you have to see, okay, your goal maybe is... do you have any goal, actually? Because I don't want to say a goal like...
Let's just say a specific goal.
Your goal is to be the best pastry cooker. And you want to be able to make croissants.
Yeah.
Like really well.
Yeah.
And to open your bakery.
Yeah.
And probably you want to visualize yourself already having that bakery and making really really good and smelly croissants every morning. I mean, smelly. What? Oh no, sorry. What I mean by smelly is like very good smell.
Yeah.
I didn't express myself very well.
How do you say that in English? We're not
You
native
know,
English speaker.
Like bakeries, like
Bakery smell.
when you smell it, wow, you want to buy it just because of the smell.
So yeah, the good stuff, you know, the good smell.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And what were you about to say?
And so, so you really want to visualize yourself having the bakery.
Yeah.
And that helps you measurable, like to say, okay, in 3 years I have that bakery.
Yes.
Measurable.
Measurable next thing is achievable, we say. You can't say, I want to be an astronaut, but you're 50.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, don't knock it till you try it. I mean, people.
So specific, it has to be very specific.
Yeah.
Measurable, you really have. You really want to, to have a deadline probably on it, and you want to know when it will be finished, when it will be over, what's the end date of your task or your project. I was seeing about, you want to visualize it as well. Apparently in the SMART goals they don't mention this, but you want to visualize it and to be able to, I believe it's really important to already see like you have already done it. To me it's really important to see your goal as you have done it already. So it motivates you, and then you can rewind it. Rewind the steps until now, so you know more or less better how you have done it.
Yeah, the next one is achievable.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say I want to be an angel or I want to be able to fly with wings.
No, that's impossible.
It's not. Yeah, irrelevant.
Achievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Relevant. Actually, achievable and relevant is related.
Yes, and time bound is what it is. It's like, same with it's like the time frame that you give yourself is reasonable. You see, it's reasonable. It's like you can't say I want to create a book, but it's only for 1 week. I want to create a 1,000-word book, a 10,000-word book, but it's just like for a short time.
Maybe one start by one, maybe like start by one. Like one book first, and then you will be able. If you want to write 1,000 of books, that's not really measurable. It's not really achievable. It's too big.
Yeah. So that's my goal, and those are some strategies that people use.
Yeah. So you haven't used it.
I didn't use it that often. No.
Or did you? Or never?
Not that often. Maybe I can count it with my one hand.
Yeah, I think that's a good habit. Is each time you create a new task for you to do something, you should create the task or the project you want to do based on the SMART goal principle. So always when you create a new task, you should always think, SMART goal. So how I create my new task, and it has to be specific, yes. So specific, I have to give a lot of details. If I say I want to be richer, it's not specific at all. If I say I want to make 5K a month, it's specific. But by doing what? Again, you have to know. If I say I want to be smarter, it's not specific.
Yes.
If I say I want to be fluent in Japanese in 3 months, is specific.
Yes.
Measurable, you really have to it has to be measurable, but also relevant, and it has to make sense. Because if you say to yourself, I want to write 10,000 books in 1 year, it's definitely impossible.
Yeah, impossible for sure.
So it's not achievable, and so measurable we say, achievable,
relevant.
Relevant, it has to be relevant. That's also very important. Also from your background, if you want to build, I don't know, something to go to the space just by yourself, it's obviously not very relevant.
Yeah.
And T
Time bound.
is for so it has to be. I mean,
There must be a deadline.
Yeah, but we spoke about measurable as well. I think they meant something else.
Measurable means some. In my understanding.
Yes, it's actually really funny because there are some different definitions about the SMART goals. Right. I've seen different abbreviation. Here I have the same as you in my notes, but I had a different one, and it was different. Like here, S for specific, M for measurable. So competition, it has to be very clear to understand, but also you can make process and to be tracked, and so it can be measured. A for me, it was actually agree upon. So like for instance, it's more for businesses actually, but if a business for a goal, like if you have many stakeholders, they should all agree on it.
Yeah.
So agree upon, and then relevant, realistic. Yeah, we said relevant, but realistic can be also good. Sometimes realistic is a better word actually. So it has to be attainable, and you have to be able to. Yeah, you have to know that you will be able to make it, to do it. And finally, the T in my case, for the SMART goal is trackable, but also about the time. But you need a deadline. So what it's the same as yours actually.
So I think measurable is when, okay, let's just say learning Japanese. I will learn Japanese in 6 months. So it's specific. You want to learn Japanese. Measurable. So it's like, okay, let's start from the beginning. Beginners for Japanese. So you measure your learnings. Okay, I'm finished with beginners, and now I could go to intermediate Japanese. So that's what it means when we say measurable. It's like you could see your progress through time, and then there's the achievable, which is, yes, of course you could learn Japanese if you work hard. And then
Indeed.
And then R is relevant because relevant to your goals, which is like, I want to go work in Japan for 1 year. So of course you have to learn Japanese to be able to work there. So it's relevant to what you want. And then timely, 6 months is your deadline. That's it.
I believe this is really, it helps a lot to motivate yourself.
Yes.
And when you wake up in the morning, you know why you wake up.
Yes.
And you wake up early because you know that you have a purpose to do during your day, because in 6 months you want to be in Japan and learn Japanese.
You want to be fluent in Japanese.
Exactly.
You want
I love it.
Pass the JPLT test.
Yes.
So,
that's beautiful. What is the GLP test?
JPLT test. It's like
GLP test.
There are 5.
Is it a test for Japanese?
It's a
the
bit
same for IELTS.
IELTS is okay because
JLP.
JPLT.
JLP. Well, the name. Oh yeah, GP for.
JLP. I'm so sorry. JPLT. JLPT.
Oh wow.
that was
JLPT. It's like Japanese language test.
Yes. So there's 5 the lowest one is like, okay, you're a beginner, you're N5.
It's a test to know your level of
Japanese. And if you pass to N5, and then it's good because
you are fluent. You are supposed to be fluent.
You're conversational fluent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that test.
JLPT, I'm so sorry.
JLPT.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so it helps. So you know that in 5 months, it's specific. I want to have the JLPT level 4. Maybe that's a bit too. I mean, depends your level right now. But maybe the level 2 in JLPT in 5 months. Now you're on level 1, but maybe already advanced 1. So you know that it's possible, and it's specific. You know that in 4 months you might do it, but you know that to be able to do it, you have to allocate 2 hours in your calendar per day by doing that. And that's why also it's so important, because we are speaking about how time flies so quickly. That's why it's so important to say, okay, no matter what I'm doing today, doesn't matter. I want to have 2 hours just for me
Studying.
practicing Japanese.
Yes.
That's it. And no one else can disturb me. I'm not reachable. I don't care. It's just me with Japanese. I can be available during other time frames, but not for that 2 hours every day. It's just me learning Japanese. That's it. Because I have a goal and I want to do it. You promised yourself in 6 months, in 5 months, you will fly to Japan. So doesn't matter what, you want to do it. Otherwise, you feel miserable if you don't succeed your smart goal and you want to do it.
Yes.
So yeah, time flies so quickly, but you have to still be positive, even if you have the feeling sometimes you didn't do anything during the morning or afternoon or day or night or whatsoever. You say, next time I will be less tired and I will do it.
Yeah.
So I believe motivation helps you also to manage well your time.
Yes. And yeah, but sometimes, okay, let's just say, okay, I did 4 hours of this, and I need to do 4 hours of this as well. But the 4 hours where, okay, let's just say you're happy with being productive. Of course, people should be happy when they are productive, but sometimes you want to do stuff as well outside of being productive. So you did that, but it's too quick. It's like it's too quick, that one, and then you have to be productive now, and then yeah, it's just time flies. Time flies so fast. 4 hours is
Do you
just
have any other tweaks on this? Because smart goals don't really help for that.
no, they don't. No, they don't, and it's just
You have to use maybe Pomodoro techniques.
yeah, maybe or you have to be conscious with the time. But the problem
Yeah.
is, it's so unnatural when you're
I
too
know.
conscious with the time.
Yeah, sometimes you feel like a robot when you feel a bit like a robot when you are too like, now I have to do that, now I have to do that, now I
Yeah.
have to do that, because like sometimes just for yourself, your calendar is full of meetings for yourself, this, and then after I have this, and after I have this, and then so a friend call you to say, oh, can we have dinner together, and to say, oh no, or maybe on Wednesday because I have 20 meetings in the night, or it's for myself. But at the same time, it's important because meetings for yourself is so important for your life. You have goals at least, and that's good. But at the same time, you should also have free time to enjoy your life for things that wasn't planned.
Yeah.
So I think you have to be flexible as well, but also to be a bit well disciplined, because if you're not disciplined enough, well, at the end of the day, there's a famous quote. I always forget the person who said that. I think he's French, but he said, or maybe he's not, but he said, discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
If you're disciplined with yourself, you will get freedom in your life.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, sometimes, okay, let's just say
It's not only for military soldiers, people, it's also for yourself. Because if you are too relaxed with your time, well, you will never be able to accomplish anything. Now, if you have nothing to accomplish, if you have no goals, if you have no purpose in your life, that's fine. But if you do, you will feel a bit miserable.
yeah, but
But it's not bad to not have purpose or goals in your life. You might have later on. It depends what you want to do. Maybe if you don't have purpose or goals in your life, maybe it's because sometimes it's because you're a bit down and you think of life is just this. But I believe everybody should have goals and should have at least one purpose in their life, because everybody wants to improve themselves and to be better and to have a better life, maybe, or better being happier. Sometimes, usually happier doesn't come by doing things or by, no, sometimes we think once I will accomplish something, I will be happier, but that's not true actually.
Yeah.
But it's just to, you know, to keep yourself well, I think. And it's important to have the mindset of continuous learning, of learning continuously.
Yeah, but the thing the thing that it makes me think that discipline is equals to freedom. But then, if you discipline yourself, okay, let's just say you have a wife, so you discipline yourself. Okay, I've now spent too much time with my wife. I will discipline myself to stop and say, hey, it's now lunch is over. It's now 1 p.m. I'll have to work. But then, is it really freedom? Because you wanted to spend more time with your wife, but then you have to work. It's a gray area right there. It's just...
Depends.
It depends, yes. But you know...
But if it's for yourself, I believe it's better than if it's for work.
Yeah.
Okay, for work it's money, but it's not for you.
Or maybe, for yourself, but yeah, I
you have to find a good balance.
Just find a good balance. I think
you have to find a good balance.
You have to know yourself. That's it.
You have to know what makes you the best.
What is
because
best for you?
The worst is to do something that after... I mean, you have to feel
it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you should always think, how was my day? Did I like it or not?
Yeah.
Was it a good day or bad day? And if you think, okay, I haven't done anything for myself and it makes me feeling bad, then you should spend more time doing things for yourself. But if it doesn't, then you can continue what you are doing. But you should score your day, and if your day is below 7, you should always see how you can improve it.
Yeah.
And to change it.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's too much of a personal thing. When it comes to time flew so fast.
Mm-hmm.
What is the reason? Yeah, you were having fun, but then it's too much of a personal thing, you see?
It's really personal. It's really about the perception of yourself.
Yeah. Pace yourself.
And everybody is different on that.
Yes, everybody's different. It's like for them, okay, time flew so fast. I was still working.
For someone else, it's different. Everybody has different perception. For some people, just watching movies all day long is just the best.
Yeah.
For some others, it's different things. It really depends.
It depends. But without the context of those things, don't you just think that time flies so fast nowadays?
It does.
It does.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. It's almost...
It's even scary to me.
Yeah.
I believe it does when you have a lot of things to do and you always keep yourself busy, and when what you do is something you kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this is when time flies so quickly.
Yes, and it's...
If you know, for instance, you wake up during the day and you know that for 8 hours you cannot do anything, you have to stay in the room to wait, but at the end of the day you will do something you love. You love video game, you know that you will be able finally to play video game by 8 p.m. But someone tell you, however, until 8 p.m. you cannot do anything, just have to wait. You are in a waiting room and you have to wait. The time will be so slow because you won't be able to do anything, and especially because you know that you have something you really want to do after. It will even for you, the perception will feel like even much longer. The day will be so long, that will be the perception you will have, because you cannot do anything now, but you know that you really want to do something and you can only do it by 8 p.m.
Yeah. Everything's just in 10 days. October will be over.
Oh yeah.
September, sorry.
Because actually when we are recording this audio, we are doing this audio on September.
Yes.
And we are September 19th. So yes.
So in 10 days.
But I think we shouldn't say, it's almost October, because no, let's enjoy now, today.
The now moment.
Let's not think about October. It's, we still have 11 days. It's still a lot. It's sometimes, sometimes, especially my sister used to do that a lot when she was a kid. And she said, it's almost already 9. And it was at 8:30. I said, what are you saying, you know? No, please,
just like my mom.
just enjoy the time now. It's still 8. What do you say? Why do you want to be already 9? Like, you know, or oh, it's already time to go to I don't know, to leave home, and actually we are supposed to leave home in 2 hours. I said, what? We still have 2 hours. Come on, don't, you know, because then the time you will spend right now will be less
Enjoyable.
You know, it's like, less enjoyable, because you will be stressed and it will destroy the moment you have right now.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Just like my mom,
No.
she wakes us up and say, it's
Never-
11 a.m. What
That's
are you
not good.
doing?
Yeah.
And when I look at the time, it was 7:30, and I'm like,
Come on, mom.
jeez Louise, it's a
Yeah.
Saturday.
Please let me enjoy my morning routine of my Sunday.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah.
I want to have some sip of my coconut water first. And enjoy my morning, and then it will be nice, and I will be able to help you in the garden or whatsoever. So yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's getting so scary, especially
It is.
Especially with the pandemic nowadays. It's like everything is so quick.
Yeah, everything goes so quickly.
Yeah, you
like
can't
movement.
move.
And so you spend even a lot of times. You waste, I would even say, a lot of time on the news, on news websites, on the news, on social media, and so on. And everything is so confusing, and all the news websites or on social media whatsoever, they speak always about the same thing, and then after 30 minutes looking at something, an information you wanted to find, you didn't find, you feel, wow, I spent 30 minutes to do what? In 3 years, you know, people will speak about something else, and I just wasted my time for 30 minutes. So anyways, so yeah, we wanted to share this actually about how time flies so quickly, and how unbelievable it is to you know, how unbelievable the time can go fast. And some tricks we wanted to share with you, some tricks that you can use actually to spend your time better.
Yes.
Like Pomodoro, or like smart goals.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add?
Prioritizing your tasks, maybe. We've spoken
Yes.
about this before. The Eisenhower
What's important?
quadrant. Yeah. What's important, what's not, and maybe use the
And what's
2080.
urgent?
Yes, what's
And
urgent.
the quadrant?
The Eisenhower quadrant.
Eisenhower,
Yeah. Maybe 2080.
Important and urgent, and do
Yeah.
what's important for you and not what's urgent. You have a bill to pay today? No, that's not important. I mean, it's not urgent. I mean, it's urgent, but it's not important for you. First, do what's really important for you. The bill you will be able to pay later, but first do what you really have to do, what you really want to do. It's like eating the frog. First, do the most important task in the morning, in the day, and everything else have to go after.
Yes.
Because otherwise, you won't have spare time to do what's really important during the day, because by the end of the day you will be tired, or you won't be able to do it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I'm not the kind of girl who eats the frog early in the morning.
I know.
I'm the kind
you
of
are
girl.
a night owl person.
No, I'm mostly the
All
kind of.
nights, yeah.
Yeah, I'm mostly the kind of girl that eats the frog for lunch. I usually get productive from 11 to onwards, which is, know yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
Know yourself. Know what works best for you. That's the best. Because we have different approaches in what we do. And if it works, that's good. If it has results, that's good. So yes.
Indeed.
Know yourself well.
So knowing yourself is also really good.
Yes.
When in terms of time management.
Time management, and having the feeling of time not being so quick.
Yes.
Knowing yourself well.
So you have to know yourself, and what also will make you happy, and
Yes.
what will speed up the time of something you do, and what will slow down the time, and so you can try to find a good balance. So knowing yourself, it's really important. It's also very important. So I think that's it for today.
Yes. And the inspiration of this podcast is about 2 people who woke up at 8 a.m. in the morning, and it's now 12 noon. And
Yes.
we did not...
half past 12.
We did almost not the things, 20% of what we wanted to do. So I was like, why?
Okay, so spend well your time.
Yes.
And be wise.
Eat well.
eating well is also very important.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.